back at the ballpark, and the Raiders come up with a big one right there as Lancaster was able to get a runner over to third, Steve, but the Raiders kept him from crossing the plate.
Well, we talked earlier about the change in the batting order that Lancaster had made, dropping Truesdale down in the order. Truesdale was 0 for 7 in this series, now 0 for 8. Big out for the Raiders.
He just came up really in the wrong slot that time for Lancaster.
Well, he did. Ordinarily, he would have been the man up before that who grounded into the fielder's choice. So, just one of those gambles you take. On paper, it looks good, moving him down in the order a little bit without a hit here in this series, but it didn't pay off for them there.
Reed Edwards will lead it off. Edwards, Grant, and Peterson do up the 6, 7, and 8 hitters for the Raiders. They lead it 2-0 on a Chuck Cunningham first-inning home run. Reed settles in. Pep Harris to the wind. The delivery, swing and a miss, 0-1. Reed still looking for his first playoff hit. He's 0 for 5. But he has 2 runs batted in.
Both of which came in Game 2 Wednesday night.
The wind, the delivery. Called strike on the inside, 0-2. And you might explain how someone could be 0 for 5 and have 2 RBIs.
Well, he had one grounder that scored a run in the first inning and then added a sacrifice fly later on. So he's still without a hit, but the Raiders finding a way to get the runs in, much as Mike Douglas was. He's without a hit in this series, but he still has an RBI.
Reed swings at a pitch that was way outside and strikes out, so we have 1 down.
And that's 4 strikeouts now for Mr. Harris. All of the outs he's recorded have been by strikeouts. He looks like he's on a pace to try to match the other night, but you look up at the scoreboard and it's a different story from Monday night's Game 1.
Raiders lost Monday night at Lancaster 4-1. They came back with a 9-6 victory here on Wednesday night, and that has forced this third and deciding game tonight. If it means anything, and we don't know that it does, the team that scored first in the first 2 games went on to win. The Raiders lead it here tonight 2-0. Harris to the wind. Here's the pitch to Tony Grant. It's a called strike, 0-1. Two-0 lead, Steve, is nothing. They can't afford to start trying to cruise here.
Well, this Lancaster team, they're a big hitting bunch, as they showed the other night. Tied up this ball game in 2 innings. Tied up the other night's ball game in 2 innings, Game 2. They can put the runs on the scoreboard in a hurry, but if you're the Raiders, you have to feel good about the way Mark Lambert's thrown the ball so far. He's really only given up 1 base hit. The other the other man reached base on the error, and he feels like the defense is at least a little bit better behind him, and the Raiders out there just trying to make the plays tonight.
Now it's an 0-2 count on Grant. Harris winds, throws, just misses on the outside corner and low, 1-2. Steve, I still see people coming into this ball game.
Well, the top row of KC Hanna Stadium almost completely filled. It looks a little bit like the bleacher bums at Wrigley Field. They're completely across. And, of course, in Wrigley Field, they have the tradition, if the opposing batters hit a home run out there, you throw it back. Let's hope we don't ever have to find out if that's going to be a tradition here tonight.
Well, applause to the Lawrence County Sheriff's Department. They have gone down there and moved those folks out of the in-play area. I don't think they're pleased about it, but they're having to move nonetheless, and that's for the safety of the players and the flow of this ball game as well. 1-2 pitch, fouled about 8 feet behind the plate by Tony, and the count stays at 1-2. Raiders lead it 2-0 on a Chuck Cunningham home run in the bottom of the first. And he hit it out to deep center. The deepest part is that left field corner, but he hit that one a ton. 1-2 pitch, line right back up the middle into center field for a base hit. So Grant did a nice job of staying alive there, and he made it pay off. Steve with a base hit.
And that's Tony's first hit of this ball game and first hit of the series. Tony, of course, came up with some numbness in his arm in Game 2 Wednesday night. Raider trainer Barry Atkinson got that numbness out, and Tony was able to be used as a pinch runner. Actually scored a run in the first inning, and Tony's back in the order tonight as the designated hitter, and that's one young man who's very happy to be back in the batting order.
Charles Peterson due up, a 9th grader, a freshman, but he's come up with some big hits, Steve. We think back to that Malden game where it appeared the Raiders were on the ropes, and he came up with the big hit that broke that one open. Grant with a nice lead down at first. Takes a couple of more shuffles over there. Peterson swings feebly and misses. 0-1 the count.
Keep your eye on Tony Grant over at first base. He has the Raiders' only stolen base of this series. I don't know if he would try to get anything going here with Charles Peterson, a good power man up there. But if you can advance Tony Grant here, you have a runner on second with only one out and a base hit. Possibly could score him and give the Raiders a 3-run lead in this ball game.
0-1 the count. Harris winds, throws, swing and a miss, 0-2 to Peterson. Well, he appears to have Charles' number at the moment. Lawrence 2, Lancaster nothing. The Raiders trying to win their third state championship, 1973, 1983, and trying to add 1990 to that slate. 0-2 the count as Peterson steps out. Exchanges glances with Ed Prescott. Throw over to first. Grant got back. That was kind of out of the blue. Peterson was still getting ready over here at the plate, and Harris just fired it over there to first. 0-2 the count. Throw over again. Not in time. Whew, Tony nearly overran the bag that time.
First base coach George Jordan down there making sure Tony gets back in time. Keeping close watch on Pep Harris, who has a very good pickoff move.
Both those throws have been close. 0-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, and Charles goes down on strikes. That's 5 strikeouts for Pep Harris. And that'll bring up Mark Lambert, trying to help his own cause with a runner on and 2 down. Raiders lead this one 2-0. Mark striding in there to the plate. And again, Harris has yet to record an out that wasn't a strikeout.
Now batting for Lawrence, the pitcher, number 18, Mark Lambert.
Lambert settles in there. Harris checks the side. Swing and a miss on that first pitch by Lambert. Mark does have a home run to his credit. So that was in the Hillcrest game here earlier in the season.
Mark's improved drastically as a batter this year. He was not used as a batter that much last year. Worked on it a little bit during Legion season and really improved his swing. He's been used basically the entire season.
0-1 pitch. Tony's going. Swing and a foul tip. Or was it just mishandled? No. Just mishandled. They're going to give him second base. So it's 0-2, but Tony Grant now down at second. So Lambert could scratch out a base hit here, give Grant a chance to score. Ed Prescott a little out of the box down there, yelling instructions down to Grant. 0-2 the count with 2 down. Lambert at the plate, Grant down at second. The Raiders lead it 2-0 on a first inning home run by Chuck Cunningham. Harris winds, throws, ground ball, hit foul over in the Raider dugout. Was there a little bit of behind that? Mike Douglas picked it up and threw it real hard back to Pep Harris, who looked like he gave not a friendly glance over there at the Raiders.
Well, Mike, a third baseman, a pitcher, and an outfielder for the Raiders with a great arm. He had to face Pep Harris a little earlier, and Pep Harris struck him out. You have to feel like he had a little bit more behind that throw.
0-2 the count. The wind, the pitch, swing and a miss. He got him. 6 strikeouts for Pep Harris, but the Raiders lead it 2-0. And that is after 2 innings. We'll be back in 60 seconds.